Happy Wednesday, guys. We are back for the day. Today was a lot of windshield time, a lot of driving around. Excuse me. It started out going to a Motel 6 for some manager's living quarters that had a system that was at least 40 years old. It's a no-brainer to replace. It's an R22 system that was completely void of refrigerant. But I did give them an opportunity, or give them the option of having a leak check and recharge versus a new system. Haven't heard back from him yet. He has to check with the owner of the property on that one. Second one was a cleaning of a 3-zone Mitsubishi system. I only cleaned one of the units. That's the only one that really needed to be cleaned at this point, but there'll be more work in the future on that. It's a 3-year-old system, and they're not on warranty anymore, so they're paying for all this maintenance stuff I'm doing. And then we had to go grab a circuit board. That's this Carrier heat pump that I've done some work on. This is the second board I'm putting on it, and I still don't know how it started working, but you'll see. It's inexplicable. It was kind of just a slip on my part, and all of a sudden the heat pump was working. But I'll just let the video tell the tale. I spent a bunch of time on tech support on that one, but we are back for the day. Tomorrow we're back out at the Sun River job, the hacked mansion, to finally wrap it up one more day. And then Friday I'm off work. We're heading to we're gonna head to watch Jerry Seinfeld stand up. He's actually coming over here to Bend, Oregon, so that'll be fun. My wife's never been to a comedy show, and should be a good time. So we're gonna have fun doing that. Enjoy today's video. Lots of service stuff. Hey guys, first stop here at the Motel 6. Matt's getting the cover off of the heat pump here. I think it's a heat pump. It is... I can't tell because the blade's in the way. I'm sure it's a heat pump. This is electric country out here. Matt's going to get the panel off there and start looking at the components here. So... we do have a disconnect, so let's check for power up there first very carefully. It's off. So, oh, it is off. So go ahead and turn, let's take this screw out. Looks like somebody maybe has been messing with this since the power's off. Let's see what we can find here. Alright, so we came out here and the switch was off. I wonder if we had some transient or something come through here. We're gonna recommend he puts a lock on this thing, or we'll be back out here. Might be a quick one. Doesn't feel like we got a lot of heat just coming out of this. Line is not cold. I wonder if he shut it off. It might have been tripping on low pressure, or maybe it just wasn't working. Looks like we're gonna have to get some gauges on here. So we'll grab some gauges, Matt. Let's see what kind of unit this is. I can't read that from here, but I'll be able to see it once I look at the video. I'll show you the indoor once we get a chance. This thing's not putting out, this thing's not dissipating any heat. And our line's not cold, so we probably got a refrigerant leak. This disappears. I'm not sure where this goes, so yeah, he's probably got a leak. I bet this thing's dead. I bet it doesn't have any refrigerant in it. And I do not carry R22 anymore. See what he wants to do. Alright guys, I didn't get a shot of the, they're just equalizing now. Get a shot of the pressures, but we were at like 116 and like 6, so we don't have any juice in this guy, and so he's got a leak somewhere. Old R22. I'm gonna snap a picture of this to see what year this is, but it's R22. It's old system. I'm sure everybody's telling them it needs to be swapped out, but this is a motel, so I'm sure they're probably not going to want to do it. They're going to want to try to baby this along, so I'll give them the bad news. Alright, so first call on the Motel 6. You know, typically those guys don't like to spend money. They have the money, but they don't want to part with it. So I gave him a quote for doing a leak search and you know, refilling it with R22. Told him it's going to be at least a couple $1,000, maybe more. And then I gave him a quote. You know, originally I gave him a quote for changing out that system. It's from the 80s. I told him it was 30 years old. It's probably more like 40 to 45, it looks like, because that carrier air handler that's in there is something you don't run across very often. I wish I'd have got a picture of it for you. So he's going to call the owner, and the owner's probably going to say fix it, because I know how those guys are. But now that I think about it, I quoted him $8,000 to $10,000, but I wouldn't replace that split. We're going to probably do, if we do anything, we'll do a mini split and just throw it in there, because it's just their place to plump at the end of the day while they're working and stuff. But it was hot in there, so we're gonna see what he says. I'll keep you updated. We're gonna head off to the next service call, which is a 3-zone Mitsubishi I put in a couple of years ago, and he's got one wall unit that isn't working. So we're gonna go see what's going on with it. We'll see you out there. All right, guys, call number 2. We're at a Mitsubishi 3-zone system that I installed. Oh shoot, it's been close to 3 years now that I think about it. 2.5 to 3 years ago. This is it's a Hyperheat MXZ 3C 24NAHZ4. It's just I think it's just got the MSG regular indoor heads, but we got one that ain't working. Let's go take a look, see. System was running when we pulled up, so it's not anything wrong with the heat pump itself. And we'll double check and make sure the other two are working fine, and then we'll move on to the third one, the one that they're having a complaint with. Okay, guys, we're in the son's bedroom here, and almost looks like he moved out because I don't see any of his stuff that was in here before. But oops, we can't have our filters like this, guys. This is probably going to be the issue on the one that they're having problems with. So we're going to pull these out and clean these. Let's go look at the next unit. This one. Let's look at this one first, Matt. Yeah. Let's go check out the next unit. Yeah, see, this isn't going to work. Got to keep this stuff cleaner than this. I will make sure that they know they need to, especially in this house, they probably got to look at them every couple of weeks. All right, let's look at the offending party. All right, so he cleaned this one after I told him. I'm gonna get my 2-foot ladder, and we're gonna pull these filters out, and we're gonna see what the coil looks like. I brought all my I brought my bib kit and everything to clean these. So let's see what we can find. We'll kick it on first. All right, hard to tell on camera here, but you can tell this thing's very dirty. You can't really see up there very well from where I'm at, but we're gonna go ahead and string up our bib kit here and give this guy a good douching. All right, guys, I got my Speed Clean bib kit. I got my Viper maximum strength evaporator cleaner, my coil gun here. My brother's trying to find some water. We'll get our hose hooked up. I'm going to turn this guy off, and I'm going to pull the shell off, and we'll get our bib kit set up. Probably want to move all this crap too. We'll see. That's a lot to move. Yeah, guys, she is caked. Not going to get any airflow through that. So yeah, we'll get our bib kit set up. Matt, let's get that top off that bucket, and we'll start setting this thing up. I hate setting these up too, they suck. Alright, guys, got my bib kit set up there the best I could. Got a towel laying down here. We'll try not to make a mess. If we do, we'll wipe the walls down and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and start spraying that thing down, Matt. Just the coil portion. We got the power off. Very, very gently. Don't open that valve all the way, probably. Just get the surface dirt off of it first. We'll soak her down real good. Make sure the water's going inside of our plastic. A lot of it's just going to go down into the outside in the drain, but it will spill over. Get the entire thing real good. Looks like our bib kit's doing what it's supposed to. So we'll get this thing saturated, and then we'll add some chemical. While he's saturating that coil, we'll take a look at these ones. You know, they're not nearly as bad, it doesn't look like, because that living room's doing all the heavy lifting. But we'll probably take our vacuum and at least get this surface dust off of here. This one isn't nearly as bad, but we'll give them a quick little hit with the vacuum. I'm not doing a full bib cleaning on these ones. We'll take these, after he's done saturating that, we'll get done cleaning that coil. We'll clean these guys up, but yeah, can't let them get that dirty. Look at that, thing's caked. Let's grab the other two from the other unit. We'll get them fixed up. Oh yeah, just as bad. All right, you know the drill. We'll get these all cleaned. Looks like my brother's done saturating that coil. All right, Matt got a lot of the surface dust off here, but it can look clean doesn't necessarily mean it is clean. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some chemical to our coil gun there. Probably put that whole thing in there, Matt.
Yeah?
Yep, put the whole thing in there. We're going to go aggressive with it, probably on the C setting, which is, I don't know, pretty good parts cleaner to parts water. I'm not sure what it is. It says on the tank, but I know that C is pretty aggressive.
All of it?
Yep, just throw it all in there. So since we're only doing one of them with the cleaner, I'm going to put it on pretty aggressive C, like I said. Matt's going to get up there and soak it up real good with the cleaner.
Where did you see
the C?
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to do its thing. Just run her through. Let's get it to foam up real good. And we'll let it sit for a little bit, and then we'll spray it off. Oh yeah, there we go. Watch your cleaner as you go. See how quick it's using it. See how we can utilize it the best. Oh yeah. There we go. That's what I want. It's okay. We got a towel there. Hold it where you need to. I don't really like this bib kit. Probably have it set up wrong. I don't do these too often. All right, we'll continue cleaning this. I'll show you what it looks like once we get all the cleaner on there. All right, brother got in there and got it foamed up real good. We'll let that sit for a couple minutes. Used about half of it so far, so what we'll do is we'll spray this down with just plain water, and then we'll see what it looks like. If we need to hit it again with the other half or another third of it, we will. But yeah, looking pretty good. Main thing when you're doing these is that you're protecting the customer's walls, and we're doing a good job of that. So always be cognizant of your surroundings while you're doing this, making sure that you do not, you know, do any water damage in someone's home. That's the main thing with this. Go ahead and flip the dial onto 0, which would mean no cleaner in it. And let's go ahead and spray that down real good. Get it to where we get all the cleaner off of there, all drained out through the drain pan and through our bib kit. Rinsed really well, and we'll visually look at the coil. Alright, you know, the coil kind of got beaten up a little bit. I don't know if Matt hit that with the stove. It was a little dinged up, but we're getting cleaner. I think what we're going to do is probably rinse it just a little bit better, and we'll go clean the shell up real good on this, clean the filters on all 3 of them, and then we're going to get the surface dust on the front of the other 2. So looking pretty good. Now let me see that real quick. Hold that side. going to try to do it with one hand. All right, coil's looking good, nice and clean. Kind of wiped everything down here. Got our wall all clean. Let's go put power everything back before we put the shell on, and let's see what kind of air we're getting out of it now. It was only just a tiny trickle before we did this. All right, well, Matt cleans up our bucket there. Let's go ahead and throw the plunger back in here. Power everything back up. Turn that guy back on and see what kind of airflow we're getting. I'm gonna wager it's probably pretty good now. We'll put it on high fan speed. On. And it's already on high fan speed, so let's see what we get here. All right, guys, she's blowing really good, but that blower sounds like it's way out of balance. Probably from it's either dirty or it's just got to push some of that water out of there that was in there. Let's give it a second and see if it'll smooth out. My brother's gonna go clean all those filters, and we'll get those put back in on the other units. We'll also grab our shop vac and clean the coils on those real quick. Let's see if this thing will smooth out. Alright guys, this thing's rattling pretty good and the blower's not consistent. Pretty sure that the blower wheel's probably pretty dirty on it, but she's blowing really good now. I just don't have time to take this thing apart more and clean the blower wheel today. But, you know, it might be a little bit noisy, but at least they'll have some cooling. And they can turn their fan down a little bit now too, so it's not so crazy. We're going to go ahead and put the shell back on this thing and wrap this guy up. Like I said, on these two, we'll just get the surface dust off of them. Throw these clean filters back in here. Not nearly as bad. Gotta keep these filters changed and clean. End up with problems. This one, I'll probably have to come back before the winter time and clean these coils, which is what I'll recommend. Alright, that blower is definitely out of balance, but like I said, we're going to come back and do a chemical clean on the other two in the fall. At least I'll recommend it to the customer. He can choose to do it or not. And then we'll pull, it's more of a production to pull the blowers out of these. So we'll do that when we come back, when we got more time. I have other stuff scheduled for today. But it's blowing nice cool air. The other two are blowing nice cool air. He'll be happy, it'll be nice and warm. It's just a little noisy. They can turn the fan speed down if it's bugging them too much. Alright, so that's a wrap out there. So we got his air blowing cold. That was the main thing. Didn't take too much work. We will go back, like I said, probably September, October, somewhere in there. We'll get the other two coils cleaned up 100%, and I'll figure out why that blower wheel sounds the way it does on the one we cleaned today. Now we're going to head down to the parts house, grab a circuit board. It's another defrost board for that carrier. The other one seemed to not work out of the box. Hopefully I didn't miss something, but we'll grab a new board just in case. We're going to go out there and make sure that thing is kicking on through the board. Right now I've had it jumpered or bypassed so he could have his AC running for his tenants. There's nobody there currently. It's one of those resort Airbnbs. We will go swap that board out and see if we can get it to run through the board like it's supposed to. Otherwise he's going to have problems this winter. So we're going to go do that, and we'll see what else we can get into today. All right, guys, trip number 3 out to this Airbnb that has the carrier system. I put the the new Focus Pro Wi-Fi on for him, so he can monitor his heating and cooling via his cell phone. So we did that for him, and then I replaced the board in it once. So let's go over this board real quick so I can go over what this does. So you have your plug terminal that just has your low voltage thermostat wires on it, your usual reversing valve, red, defrost, Y for compressor, and your common. So then it also has a pin here if you're waiting on a delay or something, you want to speed it up. You can short these two pins out, and that'll speed up the startup process of the equipment. You have your defrost connection here. You have some dip switches that are like for delays and stuff, defrost delays, and I don't know what the other stuff is on here. It doesn't really matter. I don't mess with those. Then you have your T1, which is I don't know which one's in, which one's out, doesn't really matter, but this is your loop of your safeties. When there's a call for cooling, make sure those all make, and there's no problem with your high pressure switch or low pressure switch. And then I think there's another some sort of ambient sensor. If those are all working good, it loops back here, and then it closes your contacts and energizes your T2 and your common, which should send 24 volts to your contactor, which would be off your pin here anyway. I'll show you when we get to outside, but and then this is just your fan. This is just your fan relay for when it goes into defrost to kick your to lock out your fan, because when it goes into defrost, the fan doesn't run to heat up that coil and melt off the frost. So that's what we got on our board. Let's see if that stupid guy mowing the lawn out there is gone, because that's the third time I've been here, third time they've been making noise behind me. Let's go out there to the unit. Okay, Matt's going to take the cover off. Now, Matt, what should you do first before you take that panel off? We're going to go step by step on how you swap this board out. Yep, there you go. Kill your power. Okay. Matt's going to get the panel off, and we will take a look at what I did here. All right, Matt's taking a picture of the board so he can see where everything goes. It's pretty hard to screw up, but it's always a good idea when you're starting out doing these boards to take a picture of it first. And one thing I don't utilize enough is my little magnetic bowl here, so we keep all our screws together. Matt's going to start dismantling the old board. Now, before he does that, I want to show you something on there first. Matt, let me get in there. So as you can see, what I did was I just jumpered off one leg on my contactor, which would be my Y leg, directly to my thermostat. That's why we were able to keep his place cool without the board being in the loop, but we don't want it to work that way because it will not have its defrost function and everything that it needs come this winter time. And the guy didn't like it jumpered like that, and obviously you would want to leave it like that long term, unless this was only being used for cooling, then it would be fine. So we're going to go ahead and take this little jumper out of the loop. Matt's going to continue taking this apart. We'll get the new board in and we'll see if everything works. Even though these boards are very basic, and he took a picture of it already, he's just going to do the old swap wire for wire before he mounts the new one. The only thing you want to make sure you do is don't mount anything to where stuff gets tangled up. Kind of route it so the wires push back all nice. And depending on how it looks, we might put a wire tie on them all. And hopefully we can get this thing to run through the board. I thought about every scenario I could on why it wouldn't energize the contactor before, and it had to be the board. There's nothing else to it. Okay, we got everything put back here. One last thing you want to do before you put any power back, whether it be your line voltage or your 24 volts, just double check all your connections, make sure everything's tight on there. Looks good. I went ahead and pulled my my little jumper off that I had going straight from the thermostat. Just so you guys have an understanding of how these defrost boards work. So you only need to run your 24 volts through it in heating, because this primary function of this is to lock out your fan during defrost, and it energize defrost based on the sensors coming off the board. In cooling, we could get rid of this board and it wouldn't matter. We could direct wire this stuff straight, direct Y straight to the contactor, and it would still work. But anyway, you know, and you could even leave this guy hanging This is just the power of the board. The C and the R on here are just the power of the board. You could just as well in cooling just have it bypassed, just so you know how that all works. And this is just your lockout of your fan when it goes into defrost, because you don't want your fan spinning when it's going to defrost, because you want this coil to heat up real fast so it melts off real fast. All right, let's go put our 24 volts back to it, and then we'll put our plunger back in the disconnect and see what we got. All right, we got all the power back on. Let's bump this down so she will actually turn on. Nice thing about this thermostat is you can set it real low so we can keep the cooling on. And let's wait for it to click. Waiting for equipment, so we'll have probably about 5 to 7 minutes. So we'll just sit and wait. When this says cool on, we need our unit to come on. Didn't do it last time. Okay, so out of the box without any 24 volts applied, you should have Y from your Y terminal on your plug harness from your low voltage to this Y, which we do. You should not have it here because it has to close this relay after it makes the safeties. So we won't have it there, and we definitely will not have it here. So what happens is you have your circuit, your 24 volts is going to carry through to this terminal. This goes through all your safeties, comes back to here, and that then once this has its 24 volts, it should click this relay over and power your T2. Your common just sits there. It's always gonna be there, just like your common off your terminal here. So what wasn't happening is with our 24 volts, our 24 volt circuit coming back to T1, we weren't getting T2 energized, which powers our contactor, which is probably this relay here. It wasn't clicking on a brand new board. So just a little tutorial on this board. I told you what everything else does. All right, guys, our thermostat says cool on. Let's take a little walk outside here. Oh, so this other board was probably good. I don't know why this unit's why it's not energizing off the board. We are dead. Why are we dead? Let's go. Let's start with the basics. All right, so I went through the whole loop. We got 24 volts here. We got 24 volts back to our T1. But for some inexplicable reason, we're not getting 24 volts to our T2 here on our terminal. So I have no freaking clue, guys. What is going on? I know all our safeties are good. I don't know if there's something I'm missing on this board, but there's nothing on it. This is the second brand new board. I'm gonna have to call tech support, I guess. All right, guys, so I have no idea why this isn't sending the 24 volts back. Hold on, I got a call coming in. Yeah, they can leave a voicemail, but I don't have any idea why I'm not getting 24 volts to this T2 on this plug. I got about 15 minutes for tech support to call me back. They're gonna call me back. There's nothing on this board I'm missing. All these dip switches are delays, and then all you have is your speed up here. So I have no idea, and that's just your fan. That's just your fan control there. So hopefully tech support has some answers for me. I have no idea why it would not energize that. Okay, guys, I was just on tech support for about 45 minutes. We got our system running, but not the way you would think. We went through everything. We made sure there was no shorts to ground on anything. We could not figure out why from this blue wire with the stripe on it to our yellow wire with the blue stripe on it, that's T1 to T2, we weren't getting our 24 volts. So what we did is I pulled this plug off and I accidentally arced T1 and T2 and C together, and it gave me all of a sudden I got voltage to that terminal. I have no effing idea why. I don't know why. So my brother just went and flipped the thermostat off. We're gonna wait for the delay once more, and we are going to see if it kicks back on. Really strange.